Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is Thursday. Appreciate you guys being here. A couple minutes late. Had to fix a little bit of audio and video things, but this is going to be a huge video that every single person in the reselling, thrifting, entrepreneur, small business world better pay attention to and better wake up and open your ears. So I'm not going to spend any time dabbling on this. Is the audio and video good so I can make sure it is? Adam, there it is. Thank you so much. Confirming. Also over in the chat, if there is a blue wrench in front of somebody's name and you need help in the chat while we're doing this, over there, Adam, over that way is Adam. He'll help you out. And there is some other admins that will join. So as we know, if you've not been living under a rock, today is March 11th, 2021. Yesterday, a bill was sent to the president's desk, to Joe Biden's desk for approval, which he signed today. It is a $1.9 trillion stimulus check. Yes, or relief bill. It does include $1,400 stimulus checks and this and that. That's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is a law that was added to this tax or stimulus bill that affects all resellers. Now, if you don't know, go read the bill, please. I'm going to show you a screenshot from this section. It is actually section 9674. I'm going to show you in a second. Excuse me. There was a lot of things added to this bill, money going overseas, unemployment, minimum wage, but this one is huge. So let me pull this up, and I'm just going to screen share with you guys, and we're going to read it right from the window here that I have it pulled up. Just give me just a second here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here it is. Before I share it with you guys, though, previous to this bill, and this becomes effective December 31st of this year. So this year you won't have to worry about it, but next year. So here is the update. Previous to this year, if you did not do $20,000 and 200 transactions and 20 grand in gross sales and 200 transactions on any given platform, you would not receive a 1099, with the exception of some states that had like a 600 rule or different situations. However, you are still required to report that income. The reason that you get it at 20,000 and 200 is they figure that's enough money where people are actually making a lot of profit or a decent amount of profit. It was just a number they arbitrarily came up with years ago. Don't know who, don't know where, don't know why. People doing $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 probably aren't making too much money. The IRS isn't really going to recover a lot out of them, if anything. But people had this false sense that, oh, I only did 3 grand, I don't need to report it. Yes, you still need to report it, but that doesn't mean you're going to owe any money. You could do 3 grand in sales, make 1,000 in profit, owe the IRS $200 and have plenty of expenses to clear the 200 and you're good, right? I've seen people do 25, 30 grand in sales, make 10,000 in profit, owe 2 grand in taxes and have enough expenses to almost minus that out, right? Okay. So now the new law for any third party money, any website, it doesn't matter if it's eBay, Amazon, Poshmark is included, which Posh is included right now, and they don't do it some of the time, which is ridiculous. Posh, get your stuff straight. Any seller who sells anything, even personal, out of your house, whatever, at $600, let me see if I can repeat that, $600, 600, will receive a 1099. Now, this doesn't change anything, because even if you did 600 or 700 or 800 this past year or this year, you still should have been reporting it. It's the law. But now, before, a lot of people would do 1,000, not get a 1099. The IRS never figured it out. Now, you are going to get a 1099 for $600 or more, period. Even if you do less than that, you should still be reporting it. But the new federal threshold, it is 1 transaction. If you sell 1 item or more, and $600. So if you sell 1 $600 item, you're going to get a 1099. If you sell 601 items, you're going to get a 1099. 2 $300 items, you will get a 1099. Let me go ahead and just screen share again so you guys can see this. Okay. I'll put it full screen for you guys. Okay, so this is section 9674 of the COVID stimulus, relief, bill, CARES, whatever the heck they call it. In general, Section 6050 WE of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 is amended to read as follows. So apparently this has been the code since 86 when electronic shopping didn't even exist. De minimis exception for third-party settlement organizations. A third-party settlement organization shall not be required to report any information under subsection A with respect to third-party network transactions of any participating payee, that's you, if the amount which would otherwise be reported under subsection A2 with respect to such transactions does not exceed $600. Clarification that reporting is not required on transactions which are not for goods or services. Give me just a second here. I got to just take care of one thing really quick. Okay. All right. So goods and services covers pretty much anything. I don't know what else is a good or isn't a good or service. I'm not really sure. I would imagine that means like friends or family sending you money, or maybe you go out to dinner and your friend pays for you and you pay them back $100 or what have you. Clarification that reporting is not required on transactions which are not for goods or services. Described in subsection D3A3 after any transaction. Effective date. In general, the amendment made by subsection A shall apply to returns for calendar years beginning after December 31st, 2021. So let's come back over to me here. So that means starting January 1st next year. So it will not count for this year. This year's sales won't matter. It'll stick to the 20,200. But please know that you need to report any income that you do, no matter how little it is, okay? You are supposed to report it. It does not mean you owe money. Now, the reason I am going to guess that this was put into the new COVID relief law is because they're going to need every way imaginable to recover $1.9 trillion of this money that they're spending. So they want to push more resellers to report the income that you otherwise should be reporting legally anyways. So that is the subsection. I'm going to go ahead. Let me just go ahead and grab this for you guys. I'm going to link it in the chat. I'm going to link this in the chat. You can click right there. Now, this will take you directly to the subsection, but you can scroll to the top and read it from the top. I don't know why you would want to do that, but yeah, so this is pretty much 9674. I mean, you can click on it and it's right there. There's other things in it, so I just brought it back down for you guys. But yeah, I mean, you should be reporting all of your sales. And let me tell you, those of you that are established sellers, your big sellers, your good sellers, let me go ahead and remove this. Okay. People that do things by the book and are, even if you're not a big seller, but you're doing it by the book, this is good for us because all of the people that are buying and selling and not paying taxes and are able to illegally compete with us and do all of this stuff, they are getting by and doing things that we're not able to do because we have taxes to think about. This is going to put a stop to them, or at least a lot of them. It won't stop all of them, but a lot of them. So that's just what I'm thinking. Let me see if I go into the chat. Lagoon dude. Oh, everyone's giving me a hard time for being late. Sorry. Let me see what you guys are already saying in the chat because I want to hear your opinions. Put it in the chat over there. One taco soup. Government wants its taxes. Yeah. I mean, it was in Massachusetts. It was previous to this, but you should be reporting them anyways. Does this apply to senior citizens? Absolutely. Being 75 years old does not mean you get to sell stuff on the internet and not pay your taxes. There's no age limit to that. Uncle Sam has a big hole that they have to fill. Absolutely. I think it was just a matter of time. Too many people not reporting the rise of selling Poshmark Macari. Morgan puts out a very good point. Yes, a lot of spend one day inside of a Poshmark group and you'll find, sorry, Poshmark group owners, sorry, Poshmark sellers or women or anybody who is primarily on Posh only. I would estimate 75% of those people don't even know they have to pay taxes on stuff they're selling on Poshmark and have never filed a tax return for it and don't even know it because Posh does a terrible job. Now, it's not the platform's responsibility, but you should know this stuff. Get a CPA. If you're making money, you have to know this. Like, come on. I mean, if you worked at a job outside the house and made any amount, it's reported, right? Yeah, if you get a paycheck, it's all reported. Platforms like Posh are going to have to get their crap together. They're going to have to. I don't know how Poshmark has skirted the issue to this day. And I'm happy that people are going to be forced to report this income. Looks like Casey has reported his taxes this year. I report my taxes every year. In fact, I just made a video showing myself filing my taxes right through H&R Block. Amazing how many people I talk to that sell in Florida and do not pay state sales tax. There are no state sales taxes in Florida. The live show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday. So if you came in here late, you can absolutely rewind or rewatch this later. So that is the link. I will share it one more time with you guys so you can read it. Let's pull it back up. So close that. So the minimum respect to such transactions on third-party settlement organizations is now $600, and it's one transaction. They don't differentiate between doing 200 transactions or what have you. It is one transaction, and it is $600. So Posh leaving it up to people to do the responsible thing. That's true. The other platforms don't really tell you about federal taxes either because it's not their job. But there are plenty of Poshmark sellers who have done 20,000 or more than 200 transactions, and they weren't getting 1099. Some of them did, but they were not getting 1099s from Posh, and that technically is against federal law as far as I understand. So now Posh is absolutely going to have to send out 1099s. And I would guess even the most casual of girl or person or guy or seller or couple or what have you on Posh are doing more than 600. I mean, that's only $50 a month. You're only talking about selling 2 items a month, sometimes 1 item, to cover that $600, and they're going to get a 1099. They absolutely have to pay taxes. So don't forget, guys, even if you don't do a lot of money, if it's just a few $1,000s, reporting it doesn't mean you're going to owe any money on it. I started off the video saying this, but you could do $5,000 in gross sales. You get a 1099. Now you're going to get it. And maybe on your $5,000, you're doing pretty good margins, 50%, $2,500. And you've made $2,500 profit. And let's say it's a 20% tax bracket. I don't know the percentages off the top of my head. Let's just say 20% for the sake of being easy. So the IRS is going to say, all right, $2,500 in profit, you owe us $500. Okay, not bad. But wait, I have shipping expenses and labels and materials and boxes and envelopes and my internet and my cell phone and my home office. And all of a sudden I don't owe the IRS anything. It's that easy. Don't be scared of owing the IRS a bunch of money unless you're doing serious sales. I see people doing tens of thousands of dollars in sales and barely owing anything and not ripping the IRS, being legitimately legal, taking absolutely legal deductions and expenses, not owing much. I've done one set of taxes with somebody that I helped in a CPA. It was me and the CPA and them, and I think they did like $34,000, and their initial profit was like 20, and the tax bill was like $4,000 or $5,000. And by the time they put in all their boxes and shipping and internet and cell phone and all that, they owed like $600. So it is absolutely feasible to get that tax bill down to nothing. But the big tax law change for those of you guys that are looking forward to this $1,400 stimulus check is no matter what, you are going to get a 1099 if you sell more than $600 or more. This does not start, King Cap is right, this does not start this year. So the money you make this year will be based on the $20,200 on whether you get a 1099 or not, depending on your situation and your location. There are exceptions. But even if you don't, please report the income. Please just do the right thing. But starting on January 1st, every item that you sell will fall into that $600. Reporting means that you may get money back too. It can happen, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Guess everyone I know is going to give me their inventory now instead of selling it themselves. Salty Kraken. I put 10% back for taxes. So if you make 50 grand, you should put back 5. That's probably a little low, Jonathan, depending on how much money you do. What does eBay mean when they say they'll remit taxes collected from our sales for us? All day, Dave, they're talking about state sales tax. This is federal tax. This video is about federal tax. You are discussing a state sales tax issue. So we started at 9 p.m. So here is a expense comes off gross income. They are not a direct. No, I understand that, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne's correct. I'm just giving like a made up number example, Wayne, just a completely made up number. Okay, so here's another good tax tip that this is going to affect now also. Those of you that do consignment, I see this in Facebook groups all the time where people ask about selling stuff for friends or family or people that found them or whatever through social media. What happens is everyone's like, what percentage should I charge? Like if I sell something for my family, like, okay, I'm going to sell these headphones for $20 and we're going to have $15 left over after fees and everything. What percent should I keep? And everyone's like, oh, 50%, 50%. No, you cannot do consignment for 50% or less. You really can't. Remember, it's your work, your effort, your photography, your listing, your shipping, your account, your feedback, your return risk, and the money in the sales goes on your tax liability. When you get that 1099, it's going to be a part of your taxes, not theirs. So you need to take that into account. If you're going to do consignment, I would never touch consignment for less than 60. And honestly, for me to do it, maybe for you guys, 60%, because you might be new or you don't have a big following or big store, 60% could do good because free inventory. For me, I wouldn't touch it for less than 70. Really, 75 is what I want, but 70% or I'm not even going to look at it. It's just not worth the tax liability for me. So keep in mind, you can only do this. You can only do this if you're a DBA sole proprietor. No, that's incorrect. I'm an LLC, and I don't know what you mean by you can only do this, but I'm an LLC, and I've been an LLC for 8 years. So if you sell a lot, this means nothing to you. It shouldn't mean anything to anyone, no matter how much you sell, because you should be reporting all of your income regardless of a number. But yes, bigger sellers will not even notice this. Little sellers who have illegally not been reporting income are going to feel this a lot more because now they're going to be forced to report it. Even though they were being forced to report it before, they didn't. Because they didn't get a 1099, they felt like they were invincible. They're not invincible anymore, guys. And even if you didn't get a 1099, it doesn't mean the IRS can't find out. If they do a random audit of your income, remember, when the IRS audits you, they have access to your bank statements. They can see your income coming in and out. So let's just say you were doing $500 a month on eBay or Poshmark or whatever. It's not that much, right? It's $6,000 and you didn't get a 1099 and you didn't report it, but you were sending that money over to your bank account. They're going to go, hey, what's that $500 a month coming in? Where'd that $6,000 come from? You didn't report that? Tax evasion? Hello? Oh, well, I leave all my money in Posh and respend it, or I leave it in PayPal and I spend it on stuff. Okay, they can see any online account that you have. When they audit you, remember the IRS, if they think you're up to something, they can freeze your account, seize your account, see everything you are attached to, credit cards. They can see it all if it gets down to that. You don't want to lie and get caught. It's worse. If you don't report the income at all and just ignore it, you're committing tax evasion, tax fraud. If you report income and you lie blatantly on the numbers, you're committing tax fraud. If you report your numbers and you don't get it quite right, yeah, they'll fine you some interest and penalties, but at least you won't go to jail. But if you completely just say, screw the IRS, ooh, almost dropped one there, and I'm not doing anything with it, that's tax evasion. That's the go to jail. I mean, come on, at least report it. And if you owe money and you can't pay it, or it's more than whatever, at least you can get away with it, like a payment plan or something. Your taxes are going to go up based on what you sell, Sarah. If you sell more, your taxes will go up. If you don't, they won't. That's, pretty good. Renee, it's okay. What did I miss? So I'll recap and summarize since a lot of you joined late. As a part of the new COVID relief bill, the $1.9 trillion bill, we all know money's going all over the place. People are getting $1,400 checks. One of the amendments to the bill is that the new federal third-party 1099 reporting act, instead of doing $20,000 and $200 or 200 transactions, if you do more than $600 in sales on any platform, period, doesn't matter who you are, what you are, one transaction or more, you will receive a 1099. Now, that shouldn't matter because everyone should be reporting their income, but it's going to force everyone to report their income. So if you're late, make sure that you do go rewatch the video. I'm not going to make it too long. I was late too. Yeah, I know. But anyways, that is pretty much, don't pull a Wesley Snipes. Yeah. Someone who isn't a DBA sole proprietor, you can't itemize. Yeah. If you're taking standard deduction, then yes, that's correct. They're not going to go retroactive. They would never be able to have the manpower to do that. And anybody who avoids taxes will eventually get caught. So the IRS has a thing called offer to compromise. Yeah, if you do end up reporting your income and you find that you owe taxes on money that you can't afford to pay, which shouldn't happen because you should be putting tax money away to have it, even if it takes all your money to spend it, don't screw with the IRS, pay them. But if you find that you can't, they do offer payment plans, they offer settlement plans, they will work with you to make sure that you can get it paid. They just want to make their money, right? And most of you should have enough write-offs and expenses to zero it out. So, okay. Is there any other questions? Anything else? Yeah, CPA is worth every penny if you are doing enough to matter. Most of you that do small numbers should be able to handle the tax returns yourself. I just did a video on reporting mine online through H&R Block. It's super easy. Will we get an email or do we print out the 1099? Taxes are due as of right now, April 15th. They have not delayed it. The 1099s, some companies mail them to you in the mail. Some companies give them to you on the website where you download them. You can print them out or you don't have to print them out. All mine are PDF on my computer and they're electronic. I don't print any of mine out. I did get one or two in the mail. Some companies do both. Just each one is different. So, yeah, so it just depends which company it is. Is this for this year or next? So that's going to start officially in 2022. So January 1. So this year's sales will not count towards the $600. This will stay the same, $20,200. But we're already 3 months out of this year. So long story short, next year, get yourself ready if you're doing small. Yeah, and if you're already doing things correctly and legally, this shouldn't matter. It should not be scared. I try to make this super easy. Don't be scared of reporting income because you probably, if you're making that little of income or that little of sales, you probably won't owe any taxes. If you don't know how to report, spend a couple $100 and get a good CPA. Look, I'm going to link you guys. Mark II is the best CPA that I know for online reselling. Mark is a reseller. He knows what he's doing with online sellers and platforms. This is Mark II. He's not your dad's CPA. He has a tax academy for resellers. And if you use the code Rockstar, you'll get a discount if you decide to go with Mark. Yeah, that's the link. I just put it in the chat. It's also linked down below. Mark is the best CPA you can get if you don't know what you're doing. He'll help you out. Excuse me. His tax academy is fantastic for resellers. He is a reseller, so he gears all of his content towards that. So, Angel, you're going to need to get a CPA. I make 14 grand. I don't know if that means you sell 14 grand, you profited 14 grand, something you definitely need a CPA. Can you do a certain amount of sales as a hobby and not have a tax liability? So again, that's a CPA's question, but here's what I know about hobby. The IRS expects new businesses typically to operate either as a hobby or as a non-profitable business, not a non-profit, just not profitable. For the first 2 years, they'll give you, which basically means, like, let's say the first year you do 20 grand in sales and make 10,000 in profit, and then you're reinvesting and buying equipment and inventory and buying light kits and whatnot. They expect you're not really going to make a whole lot of money. And by year 2, you probably won't make a ton either. Maybe year 3, you should start making some money and reporting profits, good profits, right? Or at least a decent one. A hobby is something, you're just selling part-time. Again, 2 years, otherwise, that changes. So really ask your CPA. So Angel, that's a perfect example, doing 14 grand in sales, profiting 3,000, and then having a bunch of expenses. You may only owe a couple $100 in taxes, if that. You may not owe anything with that little bit of profit. 3,000 in profit is a taxable liability of like $500-600, and after you take your expenses and deductions into account, you may not owe anything. So really get a CPA if you don't know what you're doing. Can I list the link to the law that changed? Yeah, absolutely. It is subsection 9674. Give me just uno momento and I'll get it up for you guys. I linked it before. I'll link it down in the description as well. So this is the bill. How did you find this in the COVID relief bill? So I just linked the entire one. You can read through it, but I had heard rumblings on Twitter about it and on social media. And so I went ahead and I went into the COVID relief bill and I hit Control F and I searched for the number 600 and it literally came right up. So yeah, Mark's Reseller Academy is awesome. It's linked below in the description. It's also in the chat. Everything. If there are any links in the description not working, please email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and I'll get it to you. Yeah, so owning a home helps a lot. Yeah, owning a home will get you interest, mortgage interest, home office, lots of deductions you can take from owning a home. Offended by my Spanish. I didn't think I talked any Spanish. Did I just try Spanish? I might have just did it and didn't even know. So Mark's Academy, yeah, Mark will help you out. You definitely should be already reporting this income. Yeah. So, okay. And I have plenty of videos up about what expenses and deductions you can take out as well that will help you get this tax law down. So don't be scared of it. If you're terrified of this, please email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. Partial internet usage, your mileage, you've got internet, your internet and your cell phone, you can deduct. I deduct 50% of my cell phone bill because the IRS clearly says, do you have a cell phone expense? Do not put in any personal. Well, obviously I only have one phone. So 50% of whatever I spend on this, I'm probably on my phone way more for business, like 80%, but I'm only going to take 50% because how can you prove it otherwise? Yeah, no worries. Uno momento, pendejo. Did I say uno momento? Oh, my fault. My bad. Yeah, so email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and I will help you out the best that I can. But that's it. That's the update, guys. I don't want to be on too much longer. I don't want to stretch this out. But do you know, I'll take a few more questions. I'll take some questions for 5 or 10 minutes. Do you know what the amount is per mile you can deduct for your car usage? I think it's like 58 cents or 59 cents a mile. So if you drive 10,000 miles for the year on your car and 50% of it was business mileage, you would claim 5,000 miles and then they'll give you whatever it is. It's 50 some cents, 58, 59, something like that. 52 cents a mile, that's probably right. I don't know the number. I just plug in 5,000 and it calculates it. It does say, but I can't remember. And I just did it too. I should know. Yeah, anyways, it's something like that. So don't be scared, guys. Just report the income. Besides, any of the income that you report can help you towards getting approved for credit cards, home loans, bank loans, mortgages, credit lines. It can help you. It's not a bad thing. Look, I went through the entire process. It's 56 cents. So there you go. Good night, Jeff. Appreciate being here. I went through the entire process of reporting as much income as I could to pay the IRS more, so I had a higher income without deductions in order to get approved for a house. Because, when you buy a house, if you take all these deductions to get out of paying the IRS, which are legal, and your income looks really small, the mortgage company is they don't know how our business is run. They just look at it and go, well, the number you told the IRS was $40,000. You can't really afford a nice house. You need to make more money. So then when I go back and I'm like, well, I made 100 grand or 100 in this or 100 in that, but I deducted down 60,000. I really made this money, but I had all these expenses. They're going to say, sorry. So then I just let the money stack up on the taxes and reported it all and didn't deduct it all just so I could have a high enough. And sometimes you have to do that in 1 year. If you're buying a new car or buying a new house, you have to suck up the tax bill, pay it, and then next year you can take all your normal deductions and take your bill back down. Yeah, so owning a home only works if you itemize, and that's true. But if you have a ton of itemization, you will outrun the standard deduction. I outran the standard deduction because I have a ton of itemization. So where do you get your 1099 from eBay and PayPal? PayPal is right on the site under tax documents. If you did not do 20 grand on either platform, you won't get one. Will there be separate 1099s for each platform? Absolutely. Yeah, I feel really bad. Appreciate you, Deb, for watching that video. I did just do a video on the Facebook tragedy. A young man was killed over a dirt bike, and it was through a Facebook Marketplace transaction. That can happen on any platform, but please be safe. If you didn't see that video, please go check it out and share it across all your social media so that everyone is safe when you do in-person transactions. The Mark II link below the video is broken. I will make that work. Email me if it's not. It should be working. I click on it and it works. I hit open a new tab and it goes right to his website. I don't know why it's not working. Here it is again. It really drives me nuts. Ignore that. Ignore that. Ignore that one. I'll get you another one. Hold on. Give me a second. Ignore that one. Sorry. The Mark. It could be cached for me. That's the Mark II link right there in the chat. Sorry about that. I don't know what that long one was. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, so there's the link right to Mark. Click on it and bookmark it, and you can go back and check it later. Yeah. So are there any omissions? Jeremy, I don't know what omissions you're talking about. In the COVID relief bill, is there any omissions? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Clarify for me there, buddy. Not 100% sure, but I'll link the COVID relief bill too. So again, it's subsection 9674. This thing is crazy, crazy long. I didn't read all of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did read some of it, but it's way too many pages. You'll see. What they say was like 5,000 pages. I don't even know. I would never read. As far as what you're selling, any omissions? I'm not sure what you mean. See you, Renee. Thanks for dropping in for a minute. Just coming in trying to find out what the update is for sellers. If you're just joining us, I'm going to be getting off here in a few minutes, but rewatch the first 5 minutes of this video. I explained it all right in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and you'll understand what it is. Untaxable items. No omissions that I know of. Virtual goods are done state by state. So if you sell like virtual online goods and stuff or digital, you'll have to look into that tax law for your state. Florida does not tax virtual goods. So, yeah. Omitted anyone who drives a BMW? No. Is Facebook Marketplace a platform? It is. It can be considered its own platform. Facebook's its own platform. Marketplace is just a part of that platform. But yeah, so anyways, the point is that it can happen anywhere that you buy and sell stuff locally. Bad things can happen. Please watch that video and share it on Instagram and Facebook so everyone can be safe. But yeah, pay your taxes. Rewatch the first 5 or 6 minutes of this video. I'm going to leave, and I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch it. Thank you so much. Learn from this. Report your taxes. Pay your taxes. Maybe you'll get a refund, and put those stimulus checks, if you get them, to good use. Don't waste them. Don't buy big screen TVs and crypto that you can't control. Just go put them to use in your business. All right. Make sure you hit that like button. If everyone could hit the thumbs up before you roll out, I really appreciate it. It means a lot, and a lot more people will see this and know that the 1099 law is changing, which they need to know. If we can get to 200 thumbs up, that would be awesome. We're at like 128 or something right now. So thank you all for taking the time to come in here and spend a few minutes with me and learn about this and keep yourself up to date. Things like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, they could also be under the crosshairs as well. We'll have to see, Salty Kraken. Thanks for pointing that out. So appreciate you guys so much. Please, 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 the best thing you can do for me other than liking this video is sharing it across your social medias, this one and the one about staying safe on Facebook. Have a wonderful night, guys, and I'll see you a little bit later this weekend. Bye, everyone.